Why do some people tumble headfirst into your orbit as though an invisible magnet were tugging at their ribs? Have you stopped to wonder why certain hearts speed up, almost against their owner's wishes, whenever you walk into a room? Most of us blame personality, looks, charisma, timing. Yet Carl Jung, the Swiss depth psychology pioneer, would raise an eyebrow at those surface answers. He argued that romance is guided by laws written miles below ordinary awareness. According to Jung, people fall for you, hard, for two monumental reasons concealed in the basement of the psyche. Grasp those reasons and you'll understand not only why love grabs hold so fiercely, but also why it can evaporate the instant reality intrudes. First, let's tear away the fairy tale veil. We like to imagine love as a lightning strike, instantaneous, capricious, ordained by fate. Jung suggests otherwise. Even the most spontaneous attraction, he claims, is arranged by an underground committee of unconscious forces. Old memories, unresolved wishes, dormant potentials, and archetypal blueprints. Inherited from culture itself, what you label chemistry is really a precision instrument, a radar system scanning for missing pieces of the soul. This brings us to projection, the mind's subtle special effects department. Each one of us carries hidden storyboards, qualities we suppress, dreams we shelved, emotions we never dared to name. They sink into the unconscious, but remain electrically charged. When you encounter someone who resembles one of those buried storyboards, the charge leaps across the gap like static shock. Suddenly you feel enchantment, destiny, the sense that you have known this stranger forever. But look closer. You are not falling for the person as they actually exist. You are falling for a fragment of your own psyche reflected in them. Picture a man whose upbringing demanded stoic self-control. His playful side lies dormant. One evening, he meets someone who laughs too loudly, dances without shame, wears colors that dare the room to stare. Instantly, he feels fascinated. That fascination is more than admiration. It is recognition. She personifies an unlived potential inside him, an outlawed freedom begging to be expressed. The attraction is genuine, yet the engine driving it is his own unclaimed vitality. Reason number one, then, you embody something the other person lacks. Opposites don't just attract, they illuminate absences. The meticulous accountant is mesmerized by the bohemian artist, the quiet bookworm by the outspoken activist, the emotional floodgate by the calm island of composure. But if the admirer never wakes up to the projection, dependence creeps in. They cling to you as a life support system for qualities they refuse to cultivate themselves. When your humanity eventually contradicts their ideal, when you admit your messy contradictions, the pedestal crumbles, and so does the romance. Jung pushes deeper with his doctrine of anima and animus, the inner feminine housed in every man, the inner masculine dwelling in every woman. These are not simple gender stereotypes. They are primordial images shaped by childhood impressions, cultural myths, and collective memory. Over decades, they harden into psychic blueprints. One day, you meet someone who mirrors that blueprint with eerie accuracy, and the pull feels cosmic. You swear you've reconnected with a soulmate from another lifetime. In truth, your psyche has simply stumbled upon its own silhouette walking around in another body. That delivers reason number two. You awaken a potent inner archetype lying dormant. In their depths, they may think it's your smile or your intellect, but unconsciously it's the archetypal resonance, the echo of a feminine or masculine ideal they've carried since childhood. You become a living portal to their anima or animus. Of course, no human can embody an archetype indefinitely. When normal flaws emerge, the archetypal glamour fades. The resulting disillusion often feels like betrayal. You're not who I thought you were. In reality, you never were their fantasy. You were drafted into that role by their unconscious. That explains whirlwind romances that ignite like fireworks and fall like ashes. They were scripted by projection, not mutual understanding. Yet Jung refused to call these crashes pointless. In fact, he believed that projection is a vital engine of growth. Love, he said, is the psyche's fastest teacher. Every person we adore operates as a mirror, sometimes a flattering mirror, sometimes a fun house mirror, reflecting what we must integrate inside ourselves. Think of the ex who woke you up at 2 a.m. with philosophical monologues. They may have annoyed you, yet perhaps they shattered your intellectual complacency. The partner whose jealousy suffocated you. Did they expose your own fear of abandonment? The fling who painted your weekends with reckless adventure? Maybe. They lured your dormant courage out of hiding. None of these roles are accidental. They are appointments made by your unconscious to advance the epic of individuation, the lifelong process of becoming inwardly whole. So, what does this mean when someone falls hard for you? They are not merely enchanted by your laugh, your wit, your eclectic vinyl collection. On some subterranean level, you personify a missing shard of their psyche or awaken an archetypal figure they desperately need to encounter. You are the catalyst, the turning point, the teacher, whether or not you wish to be. The same dynamic governs your attractions. Think of the people who have left you breathless at first sight, those who electrified your nerves before you exchanged names. They likely embodied traits you had disowned or qualities your animus wished to reclaim. If you keep meeting the same type, Jung would say that repetition is the unconscious pleading for integration. Until you learn the lesson, the pattern persists. Different faces, same archetypal lure. How do we escape the loop? Awareness. The moment you detect a projection, the spell weakens. You still appreciate the person, but you no longer mistake them for your missing half. You begin cultivating the admired trait inside yourself. Dependency shrivels. Genuine relationship becomes possible. When someone idolizes you, remember, the glow you see in their eyes is partly their own light bouncing back. That realization frees you from the impossible duty of living up to their fantasy. It also calls you to tread gently. Their projection is sacred material, and its collapse can feel like an earthquake. Likewise, when you feel hypnotized by another, pause. Ask, what quality am I outsourcing to them? How can I grow it within myself? Love then evolves. No longer a hostage-taking of missing parts, it turns into a conscious exchange between two whole, self-aware individuals. Attraction persists, but now it's textured by reality rather than illusion. You cherish the other not because they plug, a psychic whole, but because their presence enriches an already sturdy self. Jung's compass doesn't cheapen romance, it deepens it. When projection is acknowledged, destiny becomes dialogue. Instead of colliding like comet and planet, two psyches orbit each other with luminous respect. The sacred drama shifts from possession to partnership, from you complete me to your wholeness inspires mine. So next time you find yourself irresistibly pulled towards someone, or they toward you, don't rush to call it cosmic design. Ask which slumbering archetype just stirred. Ask which disowned trait just flashed its signal, and then orchestrate your growth accordingly. Because love, in Jung's grand architecture, is never merely about the beloved. It is always a coded invitation to unite the scattered provinces of your own soul. If these reflections struck a chord, drop your insights below. We read every comment. Share this video with someone navigating the labyrinth of attraction, and subscribe to Syntropy Mind for more explorations into the hidden order inside human chaos. The real romance begins within.